I investigated Shein Shoes, and the question is, are they illegal? Give me your predictions before you go ahead and start this video off. Let me know, do you think it's actually going to be worth it to buy the Shein shoes? Do you think it's going to be illegal? Do you think that it's actually going to be an exact copy and paste of one-of-one? Let's go ahead and start the video from the top, and let's go ahead and see what every page got to say.
Very rare that.
And as always, the video will be down below in the description if you want to go ahead and watch it, like it up, and whatever you would like to do.
But after hours of me scouring the internet and doing a lot of research, this one seems to have everybody stumped. Does Shein sell real sneakers? Well, today we're going to find out. I'm going to be buying multiple different pairs from Shein and figure this whole thing out. But before we do, let me tell you guys.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all, before, I don't want to do too many pauses, but I ain't gonna lie, I have got gifted some stuff from Shein, and I ain't gonna lie, it's actually pretty good quality. I haven't had no problems. And to be honest, I feel like a lot of these clothing brands have the same exact quality. I'm not going to say all of them, but I feel like some of them, they definitely do have the same quality. And they're selling them at a higher price tag. So if you haven't checked them out already, I recommend. I'm not gonna lie.
Know so far. Now, my initial answer to this question would have been no. They're all this, cheap knockoffs and fakes. But
I believe
5 months ago, one of the weirdest things
That's
happened.
my
In the middle of the
assumption
whole
too, at least.
Yeezy and Adidas breakup, actual branded Yeezys made its way to Shein's website. There was a bunch of them. We even discussed this topic on an episode of Sneaky Sunday. And fast forward to today, and now it's not just Yeezy. There's a ton of big brands all offering sneakers on there. Nike, Adidas, Hoka, Asics, New Balance. And when I saw all of this, I started looking into things, and it turns out
the pricing the same, but I couldn't really tell because it's in pounds.
They're claiming that they're real and that they're a lot cheaper than buying them from the actual brand. And according to a lot of these people, it's because it's part of Shein's new marketplace that they launched back in 2023. This allows sellers to list products on Shein and sell it through their platform. It's a very similar thing to what Amazon does, something that we've all kind of gotten used to. Okay, great. If it's like Amazon,
so are they used
then surely all of these brands are just selling their products through Shein and just listing them on there. Well, not really, because both Adidas and Puma have directly addressed this situation and said that they do not permit their products being sold on Shein. Now, interestingly, this is a very similar thing that did happen to Amazon when they first launched their marketplace, right? When all of these big brand products started being available on Amazon in the early days, these big brands did not like that. A lot of them were afraid that it would damage the image of their brands, obviously being associated with a place that sells, cheaper products. So is this just a repeat of that, and we're just seeing Shein turn into Amazon in real time? And if it is, and these shoes are in fact real, where are they getting them from, and how are they selling for so cheap? Well, let's order a few pairs and find out. All right.
They probably getting them from China.
So what should we, what type of sneakers? I guess let's just start with sneakers. Let's just see what their general, if I type in sneakers, what pops up. Okay, yeah, so a lot of this stuff, if you guys remember, I did make a video trying to replace my entire wardrobe with Shein products, and it was a lot of this type stuff where, like, you could tell these are knockoffs, random, or like they're going to be extremely cheap, $13 for some of these things. Now, this is what I know Shein for, like pretty terrible shoes that are super cheap, and they're clearly just imitations of the genuine stuff. But this is not what we're talking about. Clearly, we need to type in, let's say, Adidas sneakers, the branded stuff. Okay, so here we go. This is exactly what we're talking about. So we've got like a little marketplace logo over here. It says brand Adidas, so it's clearly like Adidas branded stuff, not knockoffs. We've got a handball spazial, pair of gazelles over here. We got a pair of sambas. I definitely think we need a pair of sambas because I've seen a lot of TikTok videos on people buying sambas. I think they, obviously it's a super trendy pair of shoes. And here we go. This one.
But I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I've been trying to nitpick and really look at the shoes, but they look like one of one. They look exactly how you would buy a regular samba. I guess the real test would have to be if you get them in person. Now, I'm hoping in this video is gonna actually buy them and get them in person, but we gotta go ahead and watch this video throughout.
This is $70. I think they retail for about $100, so that's immediately $30 at least off of the regular retail price. So let's just go straight away and just pick up a pair of sambas. Add to cart. All right, next, I am interested in Adidas. I definitely want to try and get shoes that I already own. That way I can directly compare the stuff that I have from Adidas, like the literal brand. I went into Adidas and bought them, and I want to compare it to the Shein ones. That way it'll be a lot easier to find out if these are like fake products or if they're genuine. Ooh, okay, so they have the Adidas XLG runner on here, which is very interesting because that's a Chinese exclusive pair that I had to go out to China to buy. Not that I specifically went there to buy that pair of shoes, but when I was out there, I bought them. So I actually have a pair of those. So let's buy a pair of these. It's a pair of shoes that's quite hard to find.
They remind me of like the Balenciaga tracks.
Maybe it's a good deal. 130 bucks, a lot cheaper than places like StockX and stuff that sell them if you're not in China and you want to try and buy these things. So let's get a pair of these. You know what I am noticing as I'm scrolling through all of these shoes is that a lot of these models are like older or kind of like iconic brand models. So these would be the shoes that would like always be available on these brands' websites, from like Puma, Adidas, and Nike. It's like the Air Forces, the Nike Dunks, the Adidas Sambas. Those are like evergreen products. They're not the like super hyped limited ones or like the latest models that have just been brought out. So what this could be is excess inventory or overstock from these brands that these people are selling on the marketplace. That would mean that they are legit, but that's just a theory based off of the way that I'm seeing a lot of these kind of like, you know, evergreen products sat here on the website. That could be a potential explanation, but of course we're gonna need to prove that. All right, so we've got two Adidas. Let's try one other brand. New Balance. What's my favorite model? Let's go for a pair of 96s.
What, they got the 530s?
Wow. Okay, so they got like damn near every single color. Okay, we're definitely buying a pair of these. What's the nicest color? Let's go with
gotta go with the frost white.
What do these retail? I think 150. So the saving
what is it,
potential
stone gray?
is there if these are legit, but obviously we have our doubts. Add to cart. Another really popular brand. Let's try Asics. I think they got any like Kayanos or something. Wow. Okay, so they got Kayano 14s. I'm pretty sure that's like the same one I have, or maybe a little bit of a different color. Nova Blast. They got like running shoes on here. They've got all of the popular models, and they all look genuine. I mean, it even says again, brand Asics marketplace. How is this possible? I don't know, because all of these brands have come out and said like, hey, we do not permit this. So it's a
that is
strange.
crazy.
Right, let's go with this one over here.
They found a finesse, y'all.
Bucks. They might even retail for 160 actually. This is a really nice colorway, so let's grab a pair of these. I've got the Kayano 14, so we can directly compare them. Okay, we've got four. I want one more pair, so let's try, like, why not Nikes? Gotta get a pair of Nikes. Wow, okay, so we got Panda Dunks on here for 80 bucks. I think that's 30 bucks cheaper. They retail for 110. No way is that real. Nike Zoom Fly 6 for 108 bucks. What is the retail price on
those? Got to be a racing shoe.
Wow, it's
254
pounds. The
okay.
actual pair. So things are really a lot cheaper.
Damn.
On here. How is this possible? Ooh, this is gonna make things a little bit tougher. So I just saw this pair. This is the Adidas Wonder Runner that I think are supposed to drop this year. Maybe they've already released, but you can get them over here on Shein. So I feel like I have to get these. They look so cool. Let's see what these are like. Why not? I'm just gonna add to cart. Let's buy these because they're only 106. I'm kind of getting suckered into this. All right, we've got our 5 picks, our 5 shoes from Shein. We've ordered them, so now I guess just the waiting part, and we're gonna see if these things are real once they arrive. So I'll update you when that happens. All right, everything has turned up. So we ordered 5 pairs. They actually came in pretty quick. We're gonna see if these things are actually legit, because it definitely is one of those cases where it's like it kind of seems too good to be true. Like there's got to be some sus stuff going on.
Bro, his setup in his house is very
keen to check these
clean.
things out. I've also got real pairs to most
scared of that
these,
white though, I ain't gonna lie. Like knowing me,
so
man,
let's
I'm
start
getting
with the box.
food all over the couch.
On the other side. So
it looks
I don't
fire,
know why these came in a box, the rest didn't, but I promise these are all from Shein. First promising sign is that we got an Adidas box.
Yeah.
All
right, now it's time to really see.
From some place called Kicks World, apparently. So that definitely confirms marketplace theory where like this isn't Shein that's selling them, it's actually like another brand selling them through Shein. This does have like a little quality control thing, which I guess is a good sign. Quality checked by, size checked by, authorized by, and they're all passed. So apparently these have already been legit checked according to this piece of paper, but we can't go according to the piece of paper. So let's break these open. Ooh, okay. Pair of Sambas. So far, so good.
They look solid.
Is fine. That's
crazy.
See the other pair, the other shoe.
I literally just caught that pair maybe like
test. I mean, a little bit.
4 months ago.
Nothing crazy or out of the ordinary. Now let's get the real pair so we can do a little side by side. Now this one I actually had to buy for this video because I don't own a pair of Sambas, or at least like this, just a regular GR one. And here we have, so the box. Let's test the box first. If I'm being honest.
With Geico, we can easily bundle home and car insurance and save even more.
Yeah, just like that breakfast burrito.
There isn't too much.
If I'm being honest, Adidas's box looks worse. It like looks a little bit more grainy in terms of.
I wonder if that
print.
Adidas sign right here has to do something with it, or maybe because the box isn't flipped the right way.
One says Adidas Originals, the other one doesn't. If that means anything, labels.
The box looks a little lighter
bit
too.
Different, although one's made in Cambodia and the other one's made in Vietnam. So Shein is made in Vietnam, the other one is Cambodia, but that's pretty normal because Adidas does use multiple different manufacturers. And here is the shoe. Boom, boom. They're identical. They are identical. The thing is, like, they're different tags, but that's kind of normal. So, okay, everything else is like they feel the same material wise. Leather feels the same. The Adidas one has like a crazy glue stain, but I mean, a glue stain is a glue stain. Now, one thing, this one does still have the plastic hang tag, which is something that like Adidas used to do until they switched it up to this like little braided, it's like cardboard.
Damn, he really know his stuff. I would never
so
have
it's
known
a
that.
little bit more like eco-friendly because they're not using as much plastic. I don't know how much that makes a difference, but it's a difference. Now, this is the interesting part. So the biggest theory behind this is that they're buying like old stock or excess stock, and that's how they're able to sell it at such a discount. Another thing to kind of, I guess, lead to that conclusion would be that the Shein pair was made in 2019. So 05-2019 was the production date on this, and this is a brand new pair. So 2024, 07-24 is the production date. So this being a newer, fresh pair, that's from Adidas, which you would imagine they're selling like their current stock of these things. And this is an old pair, probably passed around at different outlets for years since it was produced in 2019. But as far as I can tell, they are identical. Now, I'm not a freaking legit checker. All I know is that, you know, I've seen.
Or, y'all know what I can think about? What if, since they were sold in how many other years back, I know how shoes go up in price. What if the shoes used to be a lower price before and someone had bought them for that price and they just kind of held them? I don't know if that really makes sense, because it's like, why would you hold the shoes for so long? But I guess now it kind of paid off. In a way, I guess you can make a profit. But I guess that's one of the things I can think about, because, yeah, it doesn't really make sense for you to sell them fresh and new. Like if they were fresh and new for the like a lower price, because you would definitely lose out on the money you paid for them.
A bunch of shoes across my table in my time, and these look like pretty much identical. Would Shein risk selling fakes? As far as I can tell,
they gotta be a rep, right?
They feel, and everything seems legit. That's all I can say. Let's move on to the next one. Now, that was such a simple pair of shoes. I imagine these are going to be a little bit more intricate, so harder to replicate. We got another pair of Adidas shoes. You can see Adidas box. Labels are all in Chinese. Oh, this is the Wonder Runner. So this one we're not actually going to be able to legit check side by side.
Yeah, I'll move my camera so y'all can see that little corner. Move it right here.
I don't have a real pair of these. I just kind of wanted to check them out because we've been seeing leaks and rumors of these. And this is the Adidas Wonder Runner. Crazy pair of shoes that
Stack
Adidas
is crazy.
are supposed to be
height.
releasing this year, although this could be like an Asia exclusive, and maybe that's how Shein has them. Because they're probably sold at different, like we know that a lot of stores in China have exclusive shoes, and this could be one of them. They look pretty cool though. I mean, and they feel like an Adidas product, if that means anything to you. I've felt a lot of Adidas products. This feels like one. Cushioning feels nice. Let me get the other pair out. Ooh, and this is like a newer model than those Sambas. So you can see we've got that little twill hang tag over there, but this is completely in Chinese, I'm assuming. Like if you see that label, so this is probably just like an old pair from China. If I had to take a guess, it does look and feel legit, but it's pretty hard to tell exactly without another pair. So This one, a little bit more of a question mark than those Sambas because we did have a side-by-side. I would say those are legit. These, they feel legit. That's all I could say. There's nothing about these, not even smell, that makes me think these are a replica. We don't have another pair to side-by-side test them. I just wanted to get them because they look pretty dope. Next pair. We should have a pair to compare for all of the rest of them. We've got some New Balances in the building. Okay, so box, a little bit dinged up in the shipping process because I don't know where these came from. I'm assuming China. Oh no, Spain. At least one of these labels says Spain. And then the other one is in Chinese. Let's see. Oh, did I order this color? I don't remember ordering this color. Add to cart.
Was it
You're
not?
sick. On vacation. Now
That
your
one looked
wife
like a
is
little more like Frost White.
Wow, this is a nice colorway. Take a look at that. We got the New Balance.
Oh, it is the same color, I think.
In a nice gray color. I don't understand this. How are they selling these products? So with each shoe, what I'm gonna do is, you've probably already seen it on screen, but I'm gonna have like a little bit like what the Shein pair costs versus
160.
what the like regular
Very cool.
New Balance pair cost, and the potential like difference there. Now, the thing is with these New Balance shoes is like every single one is slightly different. So I've got two different pairs of these to compare against. So I've got my Joe Fresh Goods collaboration, which is obviously going to be a little bit different
Fire.
because it's like a special edition. But we've also got my girlfriend's freaking cooked GR pair, which should have some more similarities. So let's compare them. First of all, I will say midsole feels practically identical. It does have
It really,
the
like,
same
checks out.
plastic thing. It looks exactly the same. Shape also the same. Smell test perfect. Maybe this like back area feels like a little bit flimsy.
What is this
but
supposed
that
to smell like if
also
it's
feels
fake?
very flimsy on this GR pair. Yeah, I think these are legit as well. Like, it's like there's nothing. I have felt replicas and they don't feel anywhere near as like perfected as this. And I would imagine they would be like, there's multiple things that would be off. Now, I don't know what these tags are on here. It's all in Chinese, but maybe that's where this pair came from. Let's see when this one was produced. 08-2024, is that right? These are new, 08-2024, so this is maybe excess stock, I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, side-by-side testing, shape is the same, smell is the same. I'm not gonna smell those, they've been worn, but materials are the same. They're actually really nice. 90-60. We are.
Man, the Joe
3
Fresh
for
Goods
3 at
colorway
this
is
point.
fire.
3.5. or
And also, I
2.5
did say this in a previous reaction, but if y'all can find me some really good collabs or just keep me on game, comment down below my videos if you guys know about like a new release colorway or like some type of collaboration within like the range of shoes that I do. It doesn't have to even be in the same range. Y'all just comment down below in any single video because I read all my comments, and let me know and put me on game because I don't think I've gotten a collab on this channel like with some crazy colors and things like that. So I would definitely love to do that. So y'all let me know in the comment section, y'all. We're gonna definitely get that video out for sure.
But this is pretty crazy. Let's move on to the next one. All right, let's see what we got next. This must be the A6 shoe. All right, A6 box is pretty much an A6 box. Like, there's nothing crazy about it. Labels are also in, well, one of them is in Chinese, the other one is in Spanish again, so maybe this is like the same retailer or company. Okay, here we have the A6 Kayano 14 in this real nice blue color. So this is my personal pair of Kayano 14s, a different color, but they should be identical in terms of like the actual shoe. Now, I will say one thing I do know about A6 is they always have this tag attached on the inside of the left shoe, and that is nailed here, so give it a check for that. Materials
crazy. He really
feel,
knows.
let's give it a good little test here. Identical. No difference here. They are identical. Gel, so that's one thing. Like, I don't think anybody would be able to replicate that gel stuff that A6 uses in terms of like, you know, it could be pretty different, and it is identical. Identical. Smells fine. No, like, usually, you know, when you smell a fake shoe, it's like very obvious, and it's like, holy, those are real fakes. Like, those smell like glue. It's made with inferior materials. These feel identical. These seem
Good
good.
to know.
This is a nice colorway, by the way. See where these are produced. They're made in Vietnam. These are made in Vietnam, same place. Wow. Let's get to the last one. All right, let's see. Final pair. What do we have in here? All right, so here we have the box. Okay, so this is going to be that XLG runner that we purchased. We've got some Chinese writing again. Same label. So this seems like the same company that's selling a lot of these different shoes, even from different brands. Wow, the XLG runner from Adidas. Take a look at that. If you've never seen this shoe before, it's because it is a China exclusive model. But when I was out in China, I bought this pair over here, a triple white one. If you guys missed the vlog, it is up on the channel, highly suggested. It's a banger video. We've got a little Chinese label, exactly the same little hang tag as the last Adidas shoes, the Wonder Runners. Now, in terms of the actual shoe, they're a little bit different in terms of like the actual materials. Like you could see that they're not the same. One has a mesh, whereas mine has more of like a, I don't know, it's kind of like a nylon type material. That could just be a difference in the different colorway, because I know they make a couple different versions of this. Smell test. Smells fine. Midsole squeeze. Do they feel like the same foam? Yeah, pretty much. They feel like the same foam. I mean, I don't know if there would be any fakes of these. I don't know. It seems like such a niche shoe. 07/24 is the production date. Whereas mine
hopefully
is
y'all can't hear that.
Mine's like
It's like every time you try to record a video, like
really new. If that's 11/24,
now it's time to make make loud noises.
Like there's nothing that screams fakes to me. So this does seem like actual Adidas products that these people are just managing to sell somehow on. On here. In conclusion, we have unboxed and taken a look at all of these shoes, and they seem legit. So what the hell is going on here? Well, the answer to all of this is gray market sellers. So as we said in the beginning, Shein's marketplace allows third-party sellers to sell on their platform just like Amazon does. But all of these brands have come out publicly, like Hoka, Puma, and Adidas, and said that they do not permit Shein to sell their products. So that means that these shoes are not fakes, but they're also not authorized by these brands. And that's what you call the gray market. This is when real products are sold outside of their traditional distribution channels. It's technically not illegal, but obviously brands really don't like it. They can't control pricing, they can't control warranties or people's perception. Like if it's sold on Shein, people assume it's fake. And for the question, like where do they come from? Like where do these sellers actually get the shoes? Well, there's three main ways. First one is overstock and liquidation. Retailers and distributors often offload a lot of their excess product at a discount. So instead of destroying it, they sell it off to third parties. And those third parties are the ones that are selling it on Shein. Now, another way is just these third party sellers actually buying it from different regions, because there's a lot of different countries that sell a lot of the same product just at a way lower price. So this regional price difference is where
why is that?
Scoop up pairs for cheap and then sell it on Shein, where they have an international audience and consumer base. They make a little bit of a profit, and it still ends up being more affordable than a lot of the brands are selling it for. And then last one is kind of something that we're a little bit more familiar with in the the sneakerhead space, backdooring. And it's a very similar concept. It's just quite literally it would be between the factories or some of the retailers even quietly selling off some of their pairs that are not selling through. This again is also outside the official channels, making it, that's why they call it backdoor. So are Shein sneakers real? Yes. But are they brand approved? Definitely not. These are products that were never intended to be sold this way, like by Asics or Adidas or New Balance. That is why they're cheaper. But at the same time, if you do buy these products, you are also giving up some of the benefits that come with buying stuff from the actual brands. And that's like the warranties of the actual product, or just being able to return them to Asics or something like that. And obviously, if you're buying shoes on Shein, you're always taking a gamble. Because yes, even though all of these shoes seem legit, it is still a gray market, so a lot of dodgy stuff can go on. You might get a legit pair of sneakers for a cheaper price, but if anything does go wrong, the brands are certainly not going to help you out. With all that being said, let me know what you think down in the comment section.
For real, you guys. Now you know that low-key might be something he just put us on, no cap, because it's like maybe now we actually have a chance to actually get some shoes at a better price. But with that being said, you guys, it's kind of weird how you was talking about how people can buy them from different regions and how they'll sell them at a lower price, because it's like, how are they making a profit unless maybe that backdooring is happening or something of that sort? But with that being said, I definitely would go ahead and cop from Shein hearing this info. But then again, it's like I don't really have that like 100% trust, so I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get my money back if I do get something fake. And then again, I'm not even really a person that would know like really if something is really fake. But you guys, let me know in the comment section what you guys think about this whole video. Would you guys go ahead and cop some sneakers from Shein, or would you not? But with that being said, you guys, that is going to wrap up this video. But if you do want to see some more reaction videos just like this, go ahead and click the playlist up here. See you in that one.